morning. I am having a blessed morning. That's right. So I'm outside, I'm out and about, taking care of my business, right? So I'm back with another good one, another banger. Something to have your mind going, did he just say that? Yes. So I'm back with something that can motivate you, that can elevate you, your family, and your loved ones. So what is this content about? What is this video about? Right? And this video is about the youth. Right? It's about the youth and the youth respecting the elders. What I mean by that? What I mean by that, respecting your elders, right? Respecting those that came before you, right? Why is this not practiced amongst our civilization, among the indigenous descendants, right? Why is this? What is this? And some of the generations that came before this youth don't know the reason why. The only reason why is that they are disrespectful. And they don't even know sometimes the answer on why the youth that we call the YNs disrespect the elders. Right? And I'm going to tell you this. The reason why it is not even disrespect, right? The reason why the youth, right? The future, I call them the future, right? Is not listening to the elders is because in the spiritual realm, what passes on to generation is knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, right? It's knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, right? And with knowledge, wisdom, understanding, it carries on from generation, it carries on to generation, it carries on from generation. Now, it's been a strategic move to destroy the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And what destroys the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, once you destroy that, it's being placed by triple darkness. And triple darkness add to what? Ignorance. And ignorance add to what? Blindness. And blindness is add to what? No knowledge or understanding and wisdom. When you take away all the elders, right? When you murder, death, kill all the elders, whether it be through drugs, whether it be prison, or whether it becoming organ donors, there's nobody there to teach the future, to carry on the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, which has been passed down, right, from our ancestors throughout our civilization, which over here in North America, right, and of the earth. Once you eliminate that, right, whether it be physically, mentally, spiritually, there's no one to pass on the future, meaning the history and knowledge on your civilization. What's going to raise and uplift the future, right, is ignorance, is blindness. And they're going to be left alone to fend for themselves. And what's going to help them fend for themselves is this sick, barbaric devil demon entity, darkness. And this is not a human form. It comes in human form and use people to do its dirty work. But in reality, to the fact, you cannot see this thing with your eye. This is your greatest enemy. This is your greatest eye. This is an actual true fact. And this is the accurate, true knowledge from the spiritual realm, which we may understand this and get this out. You cannot rule the future by brute force. You cannot rule them by brute force, rolling up on them, telling them what to do. You cannot do that. You have to be gentle. You have to be patient with them. Why? Because all they know is this sick, barbaric devil demon that been raising them in darkness and to murder, death, kill each other and spin the block on each other and call these each other these offensive nicknames that is beneath them. So that's what we've been teaching them. So your objective is, as an elder, is to show them through knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And how you show them by knowledge, wisdom, understanding, this your physical, right? Your physical, right? Your appearance. And then you prove, then you show about, you show the actual that you are elder by having emotional movement, by doing what? By procreating ideas to get money, by procreating a bag, right? Not just only a bag just for a moment, but a bag to do what? For generational wealth. This is what you must do, because they have the knowledge and understanding. They bridge the gap between this life and the next. They are the future. So if the future's chilling with the future, and the elders don't understand the future, they are lost with dumb, deaf, and blind. We are all lost, a lost cause. This is why someone must step up and be the example and be the leader on all forms and show actual knowledge and proof on who they be. This is an actual true fact. And only then will they future respect you. And this is an actual true fact. This is a true fact. And this is coming from a spiritual realm. You know, by telling our future to crash out, to or commit crime, to disobey law enforcement, so they can be a trap upon themselves and place themselves in triple darkness, so they could be what? So they could be lost, like we was lost and tricked and trapped into these plantations, these jails and prisons, and these concentration camps, and these individuals getting 80 grand off you just by howling you in there every year. You could become your own bad out here in society. Once you show and prove that through the knowledge and understanding, and then you standing on your own too, then you've been out here for 30, 40 years. You've been showing that you have motion and movement. This is what they want to see. They don't want to see you talk. They want to see you bring actually proof. This is one of the dopest channels out right now on YouTube. And you ask yourself, why individuals don't shout me out? Don't shout this channel out. Why? Because I don't have no enemies. My enemies is this entity that's taking many of us down a dark path, using us as organ donors and fertilizers for the street. This is an actual true fact. Brothers and sisters, kings and queens, ladies and gentlemen, princess, all around the world. This is a fact. And once you understand your square, understand your circle, and define your circle, and master yourself, you will become a better person. You will transcend this life and in the next. When you coming home from doing those long beds and being in there, we know and understand that you have stories to tell. But we want to hear about, have you transcend? What do you know? What knowledge and understanding that you know, which are going to bring us to the future? We don't want to hear about drill stories. We don't want to hear about 1,000 cuts and murder, death, kill. Yes, there's a lane for everything. But we need to transcend to the next life and stop being left behind. And being left behind is falling into triple darkness and dumb, deaf, and blind. This is an actual fact, brothers and sisters, kings and queens. It's an actual fact. I need for us to understand that. Hold on one second. Hold on. I'm out and about. This is really, really important, man. These things that is really, really important. You know why this is really, really important? Because we just can't be talking up here. We got to be about it. And being about it is being an example. And being an example, this is what is going to get us through as a people, as a nation, as a civilization. This is an actual true fact. This is what's going to get us through. This is what's going to get us through. Right? So, I'm out and about. I'm outside, out and about right now. And this is really, really important for us. This is really, really important for us. How you doing, brother? How you doing? I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry. So sorry. Thank you for tuning in to one of the most dopest channels out on YouTube that's going to get us there physically, spiritually, and mentally. And this is what we need. This is what we need. You understand? We don't need individuals telling us how to crash out. That what's going on as out here, which is a plot and plan for us to do what? To do what? To be crash outs. To end up somebody back and being in these prisons. Because ain't nobody really going in these prisons no more the way they used to. They letting everybody out now. So they need new beds. They need fresh numbers, fresh backs. Right? That could be in there for 25 years, 30 years. Right? So they get $100,000 for you to be housed there. There's $100,000 off you. And we don't need that. We don't need to be somebody else's bag. You understand what I'm saying? We don't need to be somebody else's bag. You be your own bag. You be your own bag. And be your own bag is having the intelligence and getting with people that have motion and movement, that beat the odds. And I'm talking about spiritually, because everything got to deal with the physical. You know what I'm saying? That they plan for us to do, which has a beginning and end, a beginning and end. And when you deal with the physical, nothing lasts. Nothing lasts here. You got to deal with what? The spiritual realm, which is the foundation. Which is the foundation. And when you deal with the spiritual realm, you will triple your bag. And then you got to keep procreating. All you got to do is just maintain on this side. That's all you got to do. If you look at a lot of these podcasts, all they doing is keeping this thing going. They keep procreating. But over here on this side, all we doing is doing what? Maintaining our blessings and passing it on. And that's the example that we need in society. That's the example that we need in the world. That's the example that we need where, right? And able descendants. This is what we need. This is what we need. Especially here in New York City. Especially in New York City, we need that. We desperately need that. We don't need to be killing and spinning the block or murdering each other. Because this entity is the one that is leading the forth, telling you to do it. That you cannot see with your eyes, that's in the spiritual realm. In order to understand this, you have to get with an elder that have motion and movement, that actually love you, that actually not going to be a hypocrite and see you crash out and see you murder, death, kill each other. This is an actual true fact, man. You need to get with an elder that been there and did that, right? And beat the odds and murder, death, kill they what? They demons, and spin the block to come in and get you. That's what you need. You don't need brutal force. We don't need brutal force. Brutal force we need at a certain time. We don't need brutal force now. This is a fact, man. This is a fact. This is true. So it's up to you. It is up to you. And I need for you to understand that. I need for you to understand that. For you to beat the odds, in order to understand the odds, you got to understand what you are up against. None of us can understand this. All this craziness is going on, all this stuff. They like, what's going on? Because this is from the spiritual realm, something that you cannot see. They say something's in the water, something is in the air. No, this is in the spiritual realm. It's turning up. And in order to turn up with it, you have to define your square and your circle, and you can pinpoint it. Once you master it, then you can pass it to others so other people can save their children and save themselves. This is an actual true fact, man. This is one of the dopest platforms that you're going to come across. That's right. This is actually true fact. That's right. We here to save, not kill. Save. Save what? Save the future. So this is the actually true fact. So my enemy is not a human being. My enemy is something that controls the human being, tell the human being what to do. That is my enemy. That's your op. And this is what the Creator says in Scripture. This is your enemy. You can't see it. It's turning up on us. It is turning up. So being that it's turning up, I gotta turn up from the spiritual realm. I have to be the example. I don't want your Cash App. I don't want your Zelles. This is all free information for you and I. Let's get in tune. Let's get in tune. Peace, y'all. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace.